Alright everybody, this is Sawyer. This is going to be a short review for the movie Peppermint, which stars Jennifer Gardner. So this is, basically the plot of this movie is that you have this, wife and mom, Jennifer Gardner, and it's her daughter's birthday, and she takes her daughter and her husband, they all go out for ice cream and at the carnival or whatever, and the daughter gets peppermint ice cream. And I'm just pointing that out because that's the only time that the name of the movie is ever mentioned, and the only reason why the movie is called Peppermint is because the daughter gets ice cream at one small scene in the movie. Anyway, moving on. So the family gets gunned down by some cartel members because her husband was thinking about helping one of his friends rip off the cartel, which is a horrible idea anyway in the beginning. Uh, and because of that, the cartel has him killed to make an example of anybody that's even thinking about crossing them. So yeah, if this story sounds familiar, it's because it is very familiar. It's called The Punisher, and it's been done many times. But these days we live in a world where almost every classic story gets a re-imaging with a female lead, which I'm not against. I mean, it appeals to the audience that those movies are for, and it empowers strong women actors and all this. So it's perfectly fine, especially if you add something new to it. Like, don't just completely rehash the story and not really add any different kind of interesting thing to it besides just the fact there's a female lead. But yeah, this was I'm not trying to come off as really hating this movie, because I don't actually hate this movie. I thought it was decent. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's amazing or anything like that. But I do think it's a decent movie. I think it's passable. I went and saw it at the movie theater. I don't regret paying the $5 or whatever it was to watch this movie, but I can see how people would. I'd probably advise maybe waiting for it to come out on rental or streaming or something if you really want to see it. But I mean, I don't regret going and paying movie money to see this. I never found myself bored. I never found myself disgusted at the movie. I found myself enjoying the movie for the most part. So the strengths of the movie are that Jennifer Garner has a good performance. She's really fun as this character. The action is really solid. There's some really cool fight scenes. The gunplay is really good. There's some really great shootouts and spray and run fight scenes or whatever. That stuff is all really cool. I actually liked the villain. I thought the lead cartel villain guy was pretty cool. I liked his, I don't know, I just like his demeanor that he had in the movie. And there was some other characters I enjoyed too. Like, I enjoyed the cop guy, the main cop character. Overall, like, there's some good stuff to be had here, but there's also some not so good stuff. I mean, the acting is a little bad at sometimes, a little stale. The story itself is very by the numbers and not really all that original, and there are some things that Jennifer Garner's character does that I felt like was kind of crossing the line between like a vigilante character that we can root for and a vigilante character that we want to get shut down just as bad as the murderers. Like, for example, torturing and murdering a judge that may or may not have been corrupt. We really never got a confirmation that he was actually corrupt in the movie, which, as shown here, she kills him, and it seems a little crossing the line a little bit for a vigilante. Another big negative for the movie is that it really goes on too long. The final act doesn't even really feel necessary. It just it feels like it's just tacked on, and just to make the movie longer and to give out one more fight scene. But really and truly, there's a whole sequence where Jennifer Gardner attacks the cartel guys at his home, like at his own private estate or whatever. Takes out like hundreds or tons of guarded guys, armed gunmen, and it's a really cool scene. It's well, to me, it was well done. Very good, intense action, very intense. But then the bad guy gets away, and Jennifer Garner gets hurt, and they have 40 more minutes in the movie where she's like trying to recover, and the bad guy's chasing her now, and he does the classic bad guy thing where he tries to flesh her out by hurting the people that she's been protecting in this little ghetto neighborhood. And I'm just like, why is this? It's not that part doesn't really need to be there. They could have just ended it at the cartel house, I mean, I understand what they were going for with the whole folk hero kind of mentality, but I don't know. I just don't think it really worked out in the end, and I think the movie would have been stronger if they would have just ended with Jennifer Gardner being a total badass and just mowing down people. Instead, we get 30 minutes of her getting beat up and trying to survive and hiding and talking on the radio and like just trying to stall for the police to come and help her, which doesn't really feel like something that a strong female lead should be doing in a movie like this. Overall, I did enjoy Peppermint, but I mean, it's up to you if you're gonna like it or not. I think if you like revenge action movies, if you like Punisher type of storylines, then you'll probably like this. You might not love it, but you'll at least like it.